Hi everybody, Dan Illman, Matt Bernier, the DRFBets Race of the Day for Friday, May the 17th. Well, it's the feature race on a stakes-laden card at Pimlico. It is the Grade 2 Black-Eyed Susan Stakes for 3-year-old fillies going 9 furlongs. And if you play the race with a DRFBets account, remember that money-back guarantee. Sign up at promos.drf.com. Bet $7 to win on any one horse in any race of the day this month. If your selection runs second or third, you get your money back. It's a pretty nice deal. Here's the field of 3-year-old fillies getting set to go 9 furlongs at Old Hilltop. You can access free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Download them, handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order, beginning with the number 1 Sweet Diane, Matt. This horse ran third in the Fairgrounds Oaks last time out. Was flattered when the 7th and 2nd place finishers came back to run 1-2 respectively in the Kentucky Oaks with buyers of 88 and 85. And since that race, Sweet Diane was sold for $500,000 at public auction.
Yeah, I mean, look, like you say, that Fairgrounds Oaks, when I first looked at it and saw the result, I said, boy, how good could that race possibly have been? But then, as you made mention, Serengeti Empress and Leora, they came back and ran 1-2 in the Kentucky Oaks. Sweet Diane, she's been defeated by a horse that she'll run against here already in Point of Honor 2 starts back in the Suncoast. I don't know that I think she's a prime win contender, but I think at a big price you could be convinced or talked into using her underneath.
Trainer Todd Pletcher has 2 3-year-old fillies entered in this year's Black-Eyed Susan, and we'll begin with the number 2 Off Topic. I thought she ran well 2 starts back at Oaklawn. Motion Emotion got loose, and when Motion Emotion is able to actually get loose and control the pace, we know she's one of the better 3-year-old fillies around. I thought Off Topic did quite well to finish second in that race. Last time out in the Grade 2 Gazelle, yes, it was her first start against graded stakes competition. I just didn't think there was a lot of pace on. I think it was a good learning experience for her.
I agree with that. I have to be honest with you. I don't love the Gazelle as a whole, but I just looked at the way that race was run. Like you say, no pace. And Off Topic, it just felt like when she was in behind horses, in behind the dirt and the kickback, I don't think she was super comfortable, but she did kind of plug along at the end. I think she's going to be the kind of horse that the 1 1/8 won't be a problem. The question is, do you think she's good enough?
Well, let's take a look at the Timeform US pace projector for this race. The 3 and the 4 expected to contest a red bar situation, which in Timeform US parlance means it's going to be a fast pace. Ulele has won 2 out of her last 3 starts. In the loss, however, she finished behind Off Topic when the beaten favorite. I thought she did some good things at Keeneland last time out, maybe taking advantage of that short stretch at 1 1/16, but she went fast early. She kept right on going, but she's got a very fast horse directly to her outside.
Yeah, she's going to have to work real hard in here. You brought up that Keeneland race. Timeform US had the Keeneland main track as slightly speed-friendly that day, so she did have that in her favor, according to the folks over at Timeform. Look, I think she's honest enough. The problem is if you believe that fast pace, and you brought up Cookie Dough, who we'll talk about in a moment, I think she's going to have to work real hard and at 1 1/8. I don't know if I love it.
The runner-up from her most recent start did come back to win a 1X at Churchill Downs with a 75 Beyer speed figure. Cookie Dough finished second in the Grade 2 Devona Dale, third in the Grade 2 Gulfstream Park Oaks, used speedy tactics in both of those races, tired in both of those races. I'm not sure the 1 1/8, especially with this pace scenario, is what she wants, but I do think she has some underrated qualities.
I think she's very talented. I hate her at this distance. I mean, who knows? Maybe she'll make me look silly on Friday. I would love a scenario where she runs well, she gets tired at the end, and they choose to run her in a race like the Acorn at Belmont Park. I think she's a one-turn filly through and through. Who knows? Been wrong before, but wrong again. But I think she's much better at one turn.
One of the local hopes is the number 5, Our Super Freak, only off the board once from 9 lifetime starts, but she has chased Las Citas in her last 3 races. Las Citas is here again to torment Our Super Freak. But it's nice to see she's slowly progressing from a buyer's standpoint as the distances have increased. And as a mineshaft filly, she can get the 9.
And that's kind of the thing I look at when you compare her to Las Cetas. I think a lot of it has to do with the distance, where they keep going longer and longer. That gap's getting narrower and narrower. I do wonder, with added ground of the 2, maybe Our Super Freak is a little bit better off at it.
The number 6, Always Shopping, really appreciates this 9 furlong distance, and that could really be key on Friday. A lot of these fillies untested at the 1.125, always shopping as a maiden, won the Busanda at this distance, then came back to win the aforementioned Gazelle. But as we said, that pace was rather slow. She was right up on it, got the jump on Off Topic turning into the stretch, and was able to hold her off. Like you, I'm not a fan of the New York-based 3-year-old fillies this year. Always shopping. Again, distance is great for her. She's got a rather reliable tactical speed that she can sit wherever the jockey wants her. I'm just not sure if I want her at a relatively short price.
Well, that's really what it boils down to. I don't know how good she is. The Gazelle, again, I'm a little bit wishy-washy on it. But if I'm going to take a filly out of it, I'm going to take Off Topic simply because I think Always Shopping had the run of the race that day. Like you say, no pace. The 1.125, she's supposed to get it based on her pedigree, and she did indeed that day. I guess at a short price, though, you take a look. What is she, 3-4 to 1 on the morning line? That's just not appetizing to me.
In many ways, I think the number 7 Brill could be the horse to beat. $1 million yearling by Medaglia d'Oro, grade 1 placed as a 2-year-old filly, and has slowly been racing herself back into shape for trainer Jerry Hollendorfer. I thought it was a good second sprinting in her seasonal debut. I liked her in the fantasy last time out. She ran well. It was a little bit disappointing. Lady Apple did have the run of the rails while Brill tried to come outside, but I think at her third start of the form cycle, she can trip out here. If the 3 and the 4 go out there on the lead, I can see Brill sitting third, and I don't think Brill has to get cooked.
No, I agree with that. She should be able to work out a good trip in here. For me, the real question kind of boils down to, I'm not 100% sure what her best distance and what her game is going to be. Is she going to be a horse that excels as the distances get longer, or is she going to be one that eventually has a little bit of a turn back, and that's what she really kind of puts her best foot forward? I'm not suggesting she can't win a race like this. Again, I just wonder, at 5 to 1, I think she's going to get bet down from there. I could see her being 5 to 2, 3 to 1, and I'm just not convinced that added ground helps her.
Keelan Graduate, the number 8 Point of Honor, looked good winning the Suncoast Stakes 2 starts back at Tampa Bay. I think you highlighted her on Out of the Gate after that race as a horse watch. She was far from disgraced in the Gulfstream Park Oaks when finishing behind Cookie Dough, considering that I thought that track was very speed favoring, and Point of Honor was sort of stuck in behind horses near the tail end of the field, tried to get into it with a wide run. Javier saw that wasn't going anywhere, dropped down to the rail, and she was staying on a little bit late. Her figures put her in the mix, and if you believe this pace projector, Point of Honor might get the setup.
Yeah, I have to be honest with you. I do look at her and say, if everything plays out the way we think it's going to, if the pace is hot at this 1.125 distance, I think she's one of, if not the most likely winner of this race because of all those things, where she was up against it from a track profile standpoint most recently, and the way that she ran 2 starts back. She just looks like a filly that added ground is not going to be an issue for her. I could see her winning this race and having a big summer up at Saratoga.
And it would be a great story if Las Citas could pull off this victory for the local crew, trained by Catherine Voss, a Maryland bred, a perfect 4 for 4 with blinkers. Now, she likes to be close to the pace, and as we saw in Timeform US, they don't believe she's fast enough to run early with some of these other girls. Does that really hurt her as she steps way up in class?
Well, to this point, I mean, all 4 wins have come in Gates of Wire fashion. And I know she battled down the lane with our Super Freak most recently, but there's a part of me that wonders if added ground hurts her. And again, even if she's going to be forwardly placed, breaking from post 9, going 1.125, she's going to be hung wide. She's going to carry a lot of ground, I think. To me, this is just a really tough spot. I think she's talented. I just don't like her at this distance.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Grade 2 Black-Eyed Susan Stakes. You're going with the number 2, Off Topic, second off the layoff for Todd Pletcher, and another one that would really benefit if Timeform US is right and that red bar situation occurs.
For me, this was more a price play than anything else. I think Point of Honor is the most likely winner. I picked her second in here, but Off Topic, you're going to get Pletcher at what should be 6, 7, 8 to 1, I would imagine. She's paired up by her tops. The 1.125 isn't a problem for her. And I think of the horses exiting the Gazelle, I don't really love that race, but if I'm taking anyone, I want to take her.
Point of Honor was, of course, pointed to the Kentucky Oaks. She could not break in from the also eligible list. She gets the extra 2 weeks. As Matt mentioned, distance shouldn't be a problem. The pace scenario shouldn't be a problem. I think Point of Honor is going to come with a good late run. She's 5 to 2 on the line. I hope that Brill takes a little bit of money. I find it hard to believe that Brill's 5 to 1. Point of Honor's 5 to 2. Cookie Dough's 3 to 1. But it's so tough to make a morning line in races with this sort of quality. I'm going 8, 4, 7, 6. Give me numbers.
2867.
Great race, the Grade 2 Black-Eyed Susan Stakes, your DRFBets race of the day for Friday. Get involved if you have a DRFBets account. Bet $7 to win on any one horse in any race of the day this month with a DRFBets account. If your selection runs second or third, you get your money back. Approximate post time for the Black-Eyed Susan, 4:48 Eastern. Best of luck.